Want to make great tasting, nutritious, plant-based food? Fast, easy, low cost, low energy, with very little cleanup? Then let's get to it. Enchiladas. This is going to be great. I haven't made enchiladas in a long time, and I don't have an enchilada up on my channel, so I decided to make one. They sounded good. Here they are. So tofu is going to be the replacement for traditional interior stuff in the enchilada, along with Kraft, not cheese, cheddar. So that's going to be inside along with the other stuff, and then we got some more cheese to put on top. Because enchiladas have to be cheesy. And this is just fantastic stuff. By now you probably watched some of my cheese Kraft review and how much I love it. So I've got off the shelf, because I use off the shelf. There's just no point in making this sauce. It's just a big mess, got to clean it up, everything else. I'm not using any fry pans, no nothing. I'm just using some foil in my toaster oven pans to make this. Simple, fast, easy cleanup, nothing, low energy, totally efficient cooking, sustainable cooking. It's just going to be fantastic. So I've got a little bit of, running out of this stuff, onion powder, cumin, okay? This is going to go inside. This I wait till the end, and that's going to be poured on top on the second bake. But I'm going to make my tofu interior first, or the stuff that goes inside. And I'm just going to do that by crumbling up this tofu. I'm going to put some cilantro in there as well. I'm going to put some green onion. Can you see that? Beautiful. Look at that thing. I grow that right here in my own home garden. Cilantro, basil, chives, green onions, always growing, beautiful, fresh. They are so much better than the store-bought ones. Okay, so I've got, and garlic, about a teaspoon and a half, somewhere in there, and then corn tortillas. So I've already got these moistening up here in this wrap. I put it in the toaster oven with a little bit of spray of distilled water on them so they get nice and soft, and they'll be great to roll up in here. So let's get started with making the tofu. So we're going to just break this stuff up. I've done this before many, many times. This is a great way to do it. I leave it fairly chunky. I don't want it tons of just little tiny crumbles. So they're good sized pieces, and you'll be able to see about what that looks like from up on top. There you go. And so we're just going to get this. I got about roughly 2.5 servings. That for me is 2 servings. I'm making 4 enchiladas, and I'll have enough for a meal. Probably be tomorrow night. I'll eat them again. Okay, let's get the rest of this in here. And again, so just nice and chunky, really good. Because this gives you some texture, like it would be very popular. Ground beef normally is used in this. So this takes the place of that, and much better, obviously, for you and the environment and the animals and everything. So let's get this broken up in here. And again, I'll show you up there on top. You can see it. Beautiful, good sized chunks, not too small and not too big, because you want them really to absorb all that flavor that's going in here. Okay, so got that. Let's get the garlic in here, because we're going to stir all this up in a second anyway. Let's get some onion powder. Now, I don't use traditional white onions. I don't like them. I love green onions. You can use traditional white onions. It's okay. So all of my recipes are all modifiable, change the way you like. I'm giving you just the base idea, and that's really what it is. And some cumin. Now this recipe calls for good taste of cumin, so I put enough in here to give it a good taste. It's very strong stuff. But I like that flavor in here, and that it works really well. So I'm just going to take my cilantro and make it a little bit smaller. Get this all in here. We're going to stir all this up anyway. I'm going to put the onions in here as well. Cilantro. And I'm going to reserve some of this onion. I may even get another one. We'll see how many go in here. I have as many as I need. have more than I need, actually. I'm an onion and basil and cilantro and chive hoarder. That's why I keep them growing all the time. They're my 4 things to herb up, put in here, or put in anything, really. I've used them in everything. So I'll save that for just some sprinkling on top of the enchiladas when they come out. So I'm not putting any of this stuff in here right now. All that sets aside, and then I'm just going to drizzle this over the top, and I'm going to mix this with my hands. And this is just a teaspoon of canola oil. That's all it is. And that fries it. So normally that's what you do. You fry that stuff that's going to go in the interior of the enchiladas. I'm not going to fry it. Teaspoon, just stir it all up. It browns up everything nicely. And I'm going to use the same foil that I use in here. This is going to just be reused again for the baking of those, and it all just goes into the recycling bin because you can recycle foil very easily. So let's get this stirred up. And you want to stir this really good. Get this all around, all of it. The oil everywhere, the cumin everywhere, the onion powder, all that. Get the real good mix going. You want to make sure every bit of it's got something on it. It's just going to be a great filling. This will go in the oven for about 375 for about 10 minutes or so. The oven's preheated to 375, so it's going to cook real fast. It's a very thin tray, so it heats the bottom real quick as well. And I'll pull it out about 3 times to stir it as it goes along. And you want to just get this flattened out really good so everything gets baked really well. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's try and make sure we get all this good stuff off my fingers. Oh, get all that cilantro in there because that's the one that wants to stick the most. Okay. Beautiful. All right. That oil off my hands. Okay, great. So it's all ready to go. As you can see it, I'm going to get this in the oven about 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, it's out. It smells fantastic. Nice, beautifully browned up. Everything looks just great. Nice texture to it. So what we're going to do now is make them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this off. Let's get something to clear it off with, of course. Spoon and work good. So I'm just going to move it all to one side. So I'm going to do this very efficiently. So if I get this all the way over here, I can start rolling, and then as I roll, I'll put these off. I might have a little bit of this left over, which is fine. We'll just have to see how 4 fills out here. Okay, and it doesn't matter if any of this is in the bottom. This is all part of it anyway. It's not going to make any difference. Okay, let's get the tortillas out with our sealed up bag, keeping them nice and moist. Corn tortillas can crack easily if you don't moisten them somehow. I just like putting them in the plastic wrap, seal it all up with water in here. So I have a spray bottle, don't have it out, but I use a spray bottle with distilled water in it. I just spray them both sides, and then they come out really nice. You can just peel them apart, and they're flexible. Just be careful. They might be a little sticky in spots, but not bad. Okay. Terrific. So there you go. See, they can easily roll up without cracking, which is really nice. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my cheese up. Get it ready. So again, we're using 2 slices inside, spread over the 4, and then 2 slices outside, spread over the 4. And these are Kraft slices. This is the not-gum. I'm not going to do them together because they have a tendency to stick together. So I'm just going to make these into strips. And then I'm going to come back and half them. And then I'm just going to do a half here. And then these will I'll spread these out on the inside equally. I find this is just the best way to manage this cheese. It will stick together, not like permanently, but it gets, you know, a little unruly to handle, but it's all going to melt anyway. So, but if you want to try and get things even inside your whatever dish you're making, or even on the top, you certainly want to get them so they're a little more manageable. Okay, so those are great. That's going to be a nice lot of them too, because I want them cheesy. Okay, so let's get one of these in here. And this is okay to lay them in here, fill up the filling in here. Like that. Maybe that's a little bit too much. We have enough? Yeah, we got enough. One more piece in there. It's fine. Okay. Now, let's put some cheese in here. I'm going to try and get these even because I'm not counting. So one may have a little more cheese than the other, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we're just going to roll this up. Now, some people put sauce on the inside, or they bathe the corn tortillas in the sauce. I prefer to do it this way, and what I'm going to do here is then put this all on the bottom, just like that, so they sit inside of it, and then I do flap side down, just like that. Ooh, that's good. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, they look fantastic. Let's put the piece of cheese on top. Okay, great. Now, I'm going to do sauce on top, so we're just pouring this stuff on here, which is fantastic. Look at that. Just, oh, it's going to be beautiful. Just beautiful. You want to get the whole thing saturated so they can all bake in here. Get it all over every inch of the tortilla, so it really bakes into the corn tortilla really well, and it just sits in there. And again, you can choose, there's lots of off-the-shelf enchilada sauces that you can buy. I just like this one. It's got a little bit of tang to it. It's really nice. Not overkill on the spicy. Okay, so let's get the last cheese on here on top, and then we're going to cover it, and it's going to go in for 15 minutes in the toaster oven at 375. Okay, so let's... Okay, let's get this over the top, all this. Oh, look really good. Yes, these are going to be spectacular. I like to get this nice and even over the top of all these. You can do like a little crisscross pattern just so they kind of stay up there good. I've never made the enchiladas before with the Kraft cheese, so this is a first. I made enchiladas before. I don't have any up on my channel, but this will be the first of that too as well. Okay, so let's get this. You can see that. You can see it in the top camera, overhead camera. Just absolutely looks fantastic. Going to get it covered, and then we're going to put this in. Might need an extra piece of foil on it. I'll do that before I stick it in. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the toaster oven, 15 minutes, 375, let the whole thing bake, and I'll be back. Okay, they're out, plated up. These are two of them. Oh my, this looks so good. You can see it in the overhead. Oh, wow. Okay, got to taste this. See how good it came out. Wow, I hate to cut it. It's just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Now, I will say this. I did, when I pulled it out, I took another slice of the Kraft cheese, melted it with a little bit of water, and then just whisked it a little with a fork, and then I poured that over the top. The strips didn't cover as much as I really wanted to, so I just added some more cheese to it. But you can do that or not. It's up to you. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what it's like. Oh, yes. All right. This is a fairly big bite. Wow. Man, those are fantastic. Just fantastic. Cheesy, great. Flavors, everything coming through. A little bit of spiciness from that. It's more peppery. That the enchilada sauces are just perfect. Just enchiladas. You wouldn't really know what you're eating here. You wouldn't know you're eating tofu. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This is so good. You've got to try this. It's absolutely excellent. I'm FOODMAKER V, and remember, the best investment you'll ever make is an investment in your health. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.